Hello, welcome back to an all-new episode of VolTalk. I'm Vanessa Rodriguez, and joining me today is Harrison Barron, who's an entrepreneur who started up his own media-based company, Everything Tennessee. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
How was your spring break?
It was great. I got to go home to Nashville to see my family for a little bit. As a senior, I'm a little spring braked out, so I figured I couldn't do 3 years of the beach in a row, so I figured I'd go home and see the family for a little bit.
Are you getting back into the groove?
Yes, I am. It's a little difficult, but I'm powering through. I've got a few more months left of school, so.
All right. To start off, can you tell us a little bit more about Everything Tennessee?
Yes, I started my sophomore year of college. It's a social media brand, obviously centered around the state of Tennessee. Originally, it kind of started as just a Twitter account, and then after the first couple weeks, it kind of started blowing up a little bit. I think after the first few weeks, we had 2,000 or 3,000 followers, and that wasn't something I was really expecting. So the reception was very good, and then I quickly realized, this could be turned into something, that could generate revenue. It could be something, a career. So I just kind of ran with it, created a Instagram page, Facebook page, and those have also, started to grow a lot. And right now I'm just kind of running with it and see what happens in the future. Right now I'm focusing on finishing my last few months of college. Then after that I'll start, focusing on the company a little bit more.
So you're talking about how big it got. How did you run into any obstacles while starting it up?
I wouldn't say there were any specific obstacles. I think the hardest thing was just trying to, spread the brand. It's kind of difficult. In this day and age, it's a lot easier to spread things on Twitter and stuff. I think the biggest obstacle was getting on Instagram and Facebook and spreading stuff like that, because it's really hard to, get people to find your brand, especially on Instagram, because you can't really share stuff on there. Mm-hmm. People just kind of have to find it. So that was definitely one of the biggest obstacles, but we've kind of overcome that now.
So you have, I saw on your website, you have a lot of writers. You have a blog section and the media section. How does somebody get involved with your website?
I think the main way that we've gotten people involved is we'll post a tweet saying, we're looking for writers in this area. Like we'll say, we need writers in Memphis, we need writers in this area. We did that originally starting off, but after a while we realized that we're just going to kind of focus on building the following first rather than focusing on the website. Mainly because we don't have a way to generate revenue right now until we have merchandise on our site. We have a little bit, but nothing that I'm too proud of. I'd like to have a full product line, and until I graduate, I think we're just going to focus on growing the brand. After that, we're definitely going to focus on getting some writers. We'd like to have younger ones, preferably people who can relate to our audience, which is a very young one. Most of our followers are between the age of, I believe, 16 and 22. So basically, we'd like to have people who can relate to what's being written on our website.
So what's your major at UT?
Sport management.
So has your time at UT helped you start up your company?
It has. Not as much as I would hope. I've taken a few business classes that have definitely helped me, business and finance classes. Not so much sport management, though. Obviously, that's more related to sports. It has helped a little bit just because there are some business aspects in that major. But I've actually learned most of what I've done just from going out and doing stuff with the business, researching it myself. The internet's a powerful tool. Mm-hmm. You can go on YouTube and pretty much learn anything.
Tutorials.
Exactly. So I've been doing that. That's where I've learned most of the stuff, though, not specifically from my major.
And you said you started your sophomore year, correct?
Correct. It was the end of sophomore year.
What made you want to start in the first place?
The main motivation, I used to live in Georgia, and Georgia actually has a company by the same name. It's called Everything Georgia. And I realized that there was nothing like that in Tennessee, and so I figured, maybe I'll start that and see how it goes. And like I said, it started out small, but I quickly realized, people enjoyed what was being posted, and so kept getting bigger and bigger, and now just kind of running with it.
And what's been your favorite part of this whole experience?
I think the coolest thing to me is occasionally when I'm going through stuff on our Twitter. We'll get some messages from people like, hey, this is my favorite Twitter account, keep it up. And I think that's really cool that, people actually on a daily basis come to our Twitter and, say hey, this is cool stuff. I'll follow it. And, it's, something that they look forward to seeing every day.
So have you gotten any negative response to?
There have been some. I think the biggest thing is staying impartial. As a UT fan, there's a lot of people who get mad about us posting about Tennessee stuff a lot. But obviously, UT is the biggest, or probably the biggest college. I know MTSU is pretty big too, but in terms of fan base, UT is definitely the biggest fan base. So occasionally, you'll get people from Vandy and Memphis who are like, why don't y'all post about them? And I try to stay as impartial as possible, but it's kind of difficult, when you live in Knoxville. But that's really the only negative feedback I think I've gotten. Sometimes you'll get some people who will say like, oh, you stole this tweet, you stole this, and I've never intentionally tried to steal anything from anybody, but some people think that, oh, I thought of this first, so it's mine. Gotcha. And I'm just like, it's not really that big of a deal.
So where do you want to bring the next step for your company?
The next step, I'd say, is one, actually creating a full product line, so that we'll have. Whenever we first started, we based it off of the popular brand Volunteer Traditions, and after a while, I quickly realized, you can't really do the same thing as them and be as successful. So now we're kind of revamping our product line to be more of a lifestyle brand, I guess you could say, not so much what we were doing originally. So yeah, we're doing that now. In the next few months, we hope to have a full product line, and then after that, we're going to get some riders, which drives traffic to the site, which generates revenue. So that, and then after that, I think I plan on creating like a YouTube page, and we're hoping to use that to drive traffic to the site as well. So I think that's one of the biggest things.
Have you seen any difficulty keeping up your social media with school and everything? Because you hear about celebrities, like, it's kind of hard sometimes, like, you got to tweet every day.
It is. It's one of those things where you kind of, it gets old after a while. When I first started, it was one of those things where I'd look forward to it every day, like, okay, I'm going to post this, I'm going to post this. But after a while, it kind of gets old, but then I tell myself, like, you have to keep doing this because, it didn't grow to what it is now if you don't post every day. So what I typically do is I've got a few apps downloaded on my phone, which is like news apps from each region of the state. I'll check those, see what the biggest headlines are, and then I'll post about those. So that's basically what I do. I just tell myself, hey, you've got to keep posting about stuff. So it can be difficult at times, but I know that it's like, it's important to do that.
And all your Twitter handles and everything is Everything Tennessee?
That's correct.
Alrighty, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
me
Appreciate
today,
you having
and we'll
me.
see you guys next week.